What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today we're going to be doing our weekly Walking Dead throwback review. This one is going to be for the Season 7 recap. So, if there's one season I was dreading to do the most, it's probably Season 7, because, this is when The Walking Dead really started to just kind of go from here to here when it comes to popularity, and this is really, I feel like this is the season that killed the show. At least for a little bit, I feel like this season, Season 9, has been, maybe one of the best seasons they've ever done, but in my opinion, the best season they've done. Just overall, what they've done with Rick and just how they handled Season 9, the first half, I really think they did a great job. But Season 8 as well, Season 8 was also kind of on the same kind of track as Season 7, but Season 8, you gotta admit, Season 8 was a little bit better than Season 7. So, wanted to still do a look back at, Walking Dead Season 7. I really think, though, for this season, this might be a short recap. It might be. I mean, we're still going to go for at least 5 to 10 minutes talking about the season, but it's not my favorite season, and it's just not. The beginning of the season is definitely the highlight, but, I mean, aside from that, there's not really too much, in the season that's, that great, So, even though I'm a fan of Walking Dead, I can also admit Season 7 was a bit of a weaker season. It's what it is. It's what it is. It's a bit of a weaker season. So, let's discuss, though. Let's talk about it. So, we start off with probably the most popular episode of the series. The Day Will Come When You Won't Be. So, of course, we have the death of Abraham and Glenn in this one. And, I mean, we have other stuff in the episode, too, but that was the highlight. And, I mean, what a huge episode for a television series. 17 million views, and Walking Dead is like less than half of that now. So that's pretty crazy. Now, the views were through the roof. Everybody wanted to see the Season 7 premiere. You guys remember how much that was hyped, right? If you were watching at that time. It was like the Super Bowl. It was huge. So, I mean, really, it was as huge as the Super Bowl. It really was. Now, I really think for the Season 7 premiere, it'll always be an iconic. I always think this will be an episode that people remember. That's really what it comes down to. Now, I really think for this premiere, a lot of people say that the premiere was awful. Now, I think it has to do with the violence and, Glenn and Abraham, and a lot of people were disappointed when they saw it. So, then going into episode 2, the viewers went down from like 7 million. Which is a drastic drop. It really is. It's a drastic drop from the Season 7 premiere. Now, we have The Well. So, this is the Kingdom episode. We get to meet Ezekiel. We get to meet everybody from the Kingdom. This episode, I'll just say, it was slow, and it's honestly not one of the most rewatchable episodes of The Walking Dead. It's, if you really think about it, it doesn't have the best replay value. All we can pull from this episode is that King Ezekiel's here, the Kingdom's here, we get to see the Kingdom, we get to see what Carol and, Morgan are up to, they're in the Kingdom, and that's basically the episode. We have a few things here and there that we're learning about Ezekiel, we're learning about the Kingdom, we're learning about characters in the Kingdom, but episode 2 is a bit of a dry episode, and it's really not one of my favorites. It's really not, but it's an okay episode, is what I'll put it as. Then we have episode 3, The Cell. So, this is the one, of course, where Daryl is eating dog food, they're torturing him, we get to see Dwight and a lot of him and this guy that he's tracking down. This was another episode. It's like, the replay value of this one, too, it's very small, it's very small time compared to some of the other episodes they did. Now, I will have to admit, Episode 2 and Episode 3 are both episodes that I don't like to watch. I usually skip these ones when I rewatch the series. It's just, they're episodes that really don't go too far. They're not that important. They're important, but I honestly believe they could have put Episode 2 and 3, put it together, make it like a 90-minute special, and that'd be your Episode 2. And have Service be Episode 3, to be honest. Really, they could have done that, because I don't really think that they needed 2 individual episodes, one for the Kingdom, one for the Sanctuary. I don't think they needed to do that. And also, people don't like bottle episodes, too, so that's another thing. So, then we have Service. So, this is the one, of course, where, Negan visits Alexandria, takes all their guns, and, they're looking for the guns, and they're gonna kill Olivia and stuff, and it's all Spencer's fault. No, you guys remember. So, Okay, Service for me is kind of an okay episode. It's a good episode. I do think it is good because I do like how Negan's like hold this and they're kind of we have some comedy with Negan or whatever, and I like it. It's good. It's a good episode, but nobody wants to see Rick and the others that week. So I can understand why a lot of people hate this episode. I think that this is a better episode than episode 2 and 3, but it's still a bit of a downer, is what I'll say. So that one I view as an okay episode. Service is good at times, but, again, nobody really wants to see Rick and the others like that. It has some good developments, for sure, but it's not the best episode ever to watch. It's not, that's all that comes to it, really. Then we have Go-Getters. So, Go-Getters was fun, in my opinion. Go-Getters was fun. We have the zombies that are kind of, brought into the hilltop. We have Gregory and Simon being kind of a fun character. But, this episode, too, it's I feel like this one's better because we do get to see some decent stuff. And I do like the tractor scene and some of those other things, as well, but I don't think that this episode was anything special. This one was it was better than the first few episodes, but I still think the Go-Getters is just an okay episode because it's not that it was bad. It's just that if you look at it, I mean the stuff with Gregory and Simon. That's probably the highlight of the episode, and it's like, why would that be the highlight of the episode? That's such a small thing. To have their little talk be the best part of the episode, that's pretty weak, to be honest. Now, like I said, there are still some good things in Go-Getters. I still like some of the dialogue scenes between Maggie, Sasha, and Jesus. But again, it's like, what does that do? What? It's not that big. They honestly could have cut a lot of stuff from Go-Getters, but it was a good episode, so I will give it that. It was a good episode compared to episode 2 and 3. Now, I don't think it's as good as Service, because I do think Service is slightly better than Go-Getters, but, still, Go-Getters was just okay. So, then we have Swear. So, in my opinion, the worst episode of Season 7. Swear was just awful, is really what it comes down to. Tara, the ocean side, it was really dull, to be honest. There was a lot of scenes that they could have cut. There was a lot of scenes that I just was bored, simply. And, I think this might be the episode that got fans to hate Tara, just because she can't really carry an episode by herself. So, I mean, you could say that it does do some stuff because then, they find Rick and the others go to get the guns later on in the season. But again, it's like, honestly, that's not the biggest deal. And I just Swear was not that great either. So, here are some great episodes of this season. This is when I feel like the season got quite a bit better. We have Sing Me a Song with Carl at the Sanctuary. I love the part too where he's like, starving. You. By practically, you mean not really. So, we got some comedy with Negan in that one. You are adorable. Did you pick that gun because it looked cool? You totally did, right? So, love that. Episode 7 is probably the, can I say episode 7 is better than 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Probably, to be honest. Episode 7 was a lot of fun. It really got me back into The Walking Dead and really got me interested in the show again. After a lot of episodes of kind of being like, alright, this is okay, so that one was good. Then we have the mid-season finale, Heart Still Beating, with the death of Spencer. I do like the hug scene with Daryl and Rick at the end, too, at the hilltop, and everybody kind of reuniting. That was good. So episode 8 was good, too. Heart Still Beating, a lot of stuff there. I'll see you next time. He's got the bat. So, I really like it, you got no guts, I really like that. That was awesome. And we have some other stuff as well in that episode that was okay. Like, I did like the part where Rick was so mad. He's like, we had an agreement, and he's like, Rick, look, everybody, it's Rick, you people are making, your people are making me lose my voice doing all this yelling, and he's like, Rick, how about a thank you, I mean, look, I know we started this relationship with me, beating two of your friends to death, but, and because of that, we're not gonna, share each other's deeper, darkest secrets, but how about a little credit, your kid, he hid in one of my trucks and machine gunned a bunch of my men down, and I brought him home, safe and sound, and I fed him spaghetti. So, okay. I'll just say it. That episode was good. I like a lot of Negan stuff in that one, where they're sitting down at the table having spaghetti. It was pretty cool. I like that episode. Next up, we have the Rock the Road episode, episode 9. So, this is the one where Ezekiel says no, and, I mean, you can understand, he doesn't really want to send his people into battle when he doesn't need to. And we also have the highway stuff with the kind of the chord scene where Rick and Michonne are driving down, and, we have the Junkyard group kind of ganking our survivors at the end there. So, cool stuff. I like that episode. Then we have New Best Friends, of course, where we get to see some of the drop-off stuff with the Saviors. We get to see Daryl and Carol reunite. We get to see the Junkyard and then make a deal with them, and Rick fight Winslow or whatever. So, that one was good too. Then we have Hostiles and Calamities, which was the one where Eugene joins the Saviors. This one was okay. This one I was like, oh, okay, what are they doing? But it was a good episode, though. It was a lot better than some of the earlier ones from the season, though, still. But, it was a bit slower compared to the first 2 episodes in the second half. But I did like the episode, and I will say it was a good episode all around. There were a few scenes that were kind of slow and kind of pointless, but for the most part, they were pretty good. And it was a Eugene-driven episode, you could say, with a little bit of Dwight in there as well. So, then we got Say Yes with Rick and Michonne, which, wow, I'm already at 11 minutes here, too. I did not think this video would be 11 minutes. I did not, for the kind of season it was. So, then we have Say Yes, which is the Rick and Michonne episode. So this one was good. We have the fake out Rick death, which I didn't think he died there. But I do like this episode now because what he said to Michonne, if it's me that doesn't make it, you're going to have to lead the others forward because you're the one who can. And I like that because look at where we are in the show now and how she's leading Alexandria. You gotta think. It is a pretty awesome episode all around. Then we got Bury Me Here. So, the Morgan episode. So, we have the death of Benjamin, which pushes him over the edge. And Ezekiel realizing that, okay, we might have to fight because this deal, it's not working anymore. And we have the death of Richard and Carol knowing what happened in Alexandria with Glenn and Abraham and all that other stuff. So, that episode was good. It really brought Morgan's character back after a little while of kind of being a little annoyed with his character, I gotta admit. Enjoyed what they did with him in that episode, though. So, then we have the other side. We have, Sasha and Rosita. We have Simon getting Dr. Carson. We have, a couple little developments there. Then we have Something They Need, where basically Rick and the others go to the ocean side and get the guns. We have Dwight, who's in the cell, get on your knees, And we have Carol and, some of the stuff with her in the kingdom and stuff, I do believe, around that time, too. And we get to see, Sasha, Negan, Rapey Davey, and other stuff like that. So I enjoyed that episode a lot, too. Great lead up to the finale, definitely. So, honestly, for Season 7, I think the one advantage it does have, it has the best finale Walking Dead has ever done. Yeah, I have to admit. The tiger, the kind of, you could say the beginning of All Out War. Amazing finale with the death of Sasha and just the junkyard and them turning on the group. There was a lot of stuff in that finale that was really good. So, I would definitely say that this season, you should definitely watch this season because this is one of the best seasons in terms of premieres and finales for sure. But in terms of some of the other episodes around the middle and just some of those episodes where they're kind of, bottled off and stuff, it's really not that great. So, in terms of this season, this might be one of the worst seasons for, the full thing. In terms of the premiere and finale, like I said, in terms of the premiere and finale, it's one of the best seasons. But when you look at the season overall and some of those episodes, I would have to say I'm only going to rate this season a 7 out of 10, which is a low rating for a season. But I don't think this season has really much of a chance of beating any of the other seasons that they've done. It might be the worst season Walking Dead has done. It might be. So, write your comments below. Really enjoy doing this video either way, though. Next week's Season 8 and then the first half of Season 9 recap that night. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.